The movie opens at Blue Fleur National Bank, where a child stands in front of a gumball machine. At that very moment, Hiro and his partner Psycho break in. When they point their guns at customers and tell them to stay where they are, chaos breaks out. Hiro then walks up to the cashier and asks for money, which she gives him. The kid at the gumball machine doesn't seem scared at all and gives Psycho candy without any thought. He does, however, point his gun at the child, and the scene ends quickly. The story then moves to Samurai Town, where an evil governor is in charge. He has cleverly mixed parts of modern and pre-modern Japanese society with parts of the old American West to make a one-of-a-kind but harsh town. Geisha-like women who wear traditional Japanese clothing, samurais, and Western cowboys go on about their daily routines. It is revealed that the governor maintains a group of adopted granddaughters, whom he keeps as sex slaves. We see one of them, Susie, who is trying to talk to passers-by under the watchful eye of a guard. This guard is the most loyal samurai bodyguard, Yasujiro. As he enters one of the geisha's houses, Susie blows a whistle and alerts her friends. Just then, Bernice, another granddaughter of the governor, arrives with her friends Stella and Nancy. Susie gives them a positive signal, and Bernice and her friends leave in a car. They express their relief at being free of captivity. The scene then cuts to Bernice waking up confused and remembering the car ride. She realizes she has ended up in a place filled mostly with garbage and several mannequins. She then recalls seeing a signboard and encountering some frightening people during their journey. Bernice helplessly screams for help, shouting that she doesn't want to be imprisoned again. In the next scene, we are taken to Samurai Town, where a festival is in full swing. Children play happily while watching Hiro, who is tied up and guarded. Shortly after, the governor shows up, accompanied by his loyal bodyguards and several women dressed as geishas. Hiro is then untied and presented in front of him. The governor commends his bravery, referencing the earlier bank robbery, where several innocent parents and children were killed. He then frees Hiro, gives him a bodysuit equipped with explosive charges, and orders him to retrieve his runaway granddaughter Bernice. As Hiro dons the suit, the governor explains his mission. He must travel to a wasteland settlement where a group known as the Ghosts resides. It is revealed that outside Samurai Town is the Ghostland, a wasteland inhabited by half-crazed outcasts and victims of the irradiated environment. The governor brings out a photo of Bernice and instructs him to zip a suitcase. When Hiro zips it, a device in the suit activates. The governor reveals that the suit contains several explosives that will detonate if he mistreats Bernice, tampers with the suit, or fails to rescue her within 5 days. Some of the explosives are strapped to his friggin' balls, but if he successfully brings her back, the governor will deactivate the bomb. Left with no choices, Hiro agrees to the mission and sets off towards a highway that leads to the Ghostland. He soon sees a signboard, the same one Bernice and her friends had seen earlier. Shortly after, Hiro is halted by a mysterious bus and a group of mutants dressed in tattered prison uniforms. The driver, with a severely burnt face, blinds him with a flash of light, causing him to crash into a rock. The impact injures Hiro's arm and he eventually falls unconscious. In a dreamlike state, he recalls attending a festival in the town, where he sees the gum machine kid and people wearing strange masks. When Hiro awakens, he finds himself in the Ghostland. He is captured by a group known as the Ratsmen who clean up the area. They tie him up and drag him away forcibly. After a while, Hiro sees an injured girl, who has also been captured, and asks if she is Bernice. She firmly replies with a no and reveals that Bernice is her friend. They then arrive at a cult-like territory, surrounded by ruins, garbage, and a tall clock tower. The inhabitants, dressed in questionable outfits and props, eagerly await the arrival of the two strangers. A mysterious woman then checks Hiro's thick red blood and declares that he will be the one to free them all from their imprisonment. In other words, they know that he's the chosen one because he tick. After Hiro frees himself, everyone gathers around him. The territory's leader, Enoch, emerges from his setup and tells Hiro that no one has ever successfully left here. Those who try are killed by the ghosts and become part of the army. Enoch then asks Hiro why he has come, and the latter explains that he is searching for a girl. When they see Bernice's photo, a boy claims to have seen her hiding within the mannequins. Hiro goes to the said place and ultimately finds Bernice, but she doesn't respond to him. It turns out she is in a semi-catatonic state due to her trauma from the car accident. Enoch explains that ghosts come and kill the girls and take them away. Therefore, they have been hiding them inside the mannequins. Hiro is unfazed by the revelation, as he only cares about completing his mission. So, he shows Bernice a picture of her grandfather, ultimately convincing her to come with him. In the next scene, Hiro refuels his car and leaves Ghostland. He removes mannequin layers from Bernice's face and asks her to deactivate his suit. It turns out the governor has engineered the bodysuit in such a way that it can be deactivated by Bernice's voice. Unfortunately, she cannot respond because she's still in trauma. At this moment, Hiro inadvertently activates one of his suit's explosives. This results in the loss of a testicle, causing him to pass out. After he does this, during a vivid nightmare, Hiro finds himself back in the day when he and his companion attempted the bank robbery. We continue with the scene where Psycho has pointed his gun at the Candy Kid. Hiro tries to save the little boy, but Psycho ends up opening fire, resulting in the bullet hitting the gum machine. Hiro desperately tries to calm his friend down, but the latter kills a guard and the Candy Kid. Soon, a fight breaks out between the two friends and they crash through a glass window. The cops also arrive and start shooting indiscriminately at Psycho, but they end up killing a woman, leaving behind her little daughter. Just then, a man approaches the girl and ruffles her hair with care. Back in the present, Hiro realizes that Bernice is the same young girl whose mother was killed in the crossfire. Turns out the governor was the one who had adopted her. Hiro then apologizes to Bernice for the loss and promises to free her from the Ghostland. Suddenly, smoke begins to rise and ghosts emerge from it. These mutant men appear to be creatures like zombies that are thirsty for human blood, especially if it's tick. They begin to attack Hiro, and during the chaos, another explosive on his arm detonates, rendering him unconscious. Hearing the sound of the detonation, the attackers quickly disappear into thin air. The explosion, however, manages to snap Bernice out of her catatonic state. It is revealed that she is not the governor's real granddaughter, but just a prisoner of his treacherous reign, just like so many others before. Meanwhile, Hiro has another vision where he stands among the people of Ghostland. A woman explains that the region was once a chemical factory, run by the governor, where nuclear weapons were tested. One day, a catastrophic collision between a nuclear waste transport and a prison bus resulted in a devastating spill of highly volatile nuclear waste. This led to the area being quarantined and the inhabitants imprisoned there. They eventually died due to within this desolate region lies the settlement known as Samurai Town, ruled by the notorious governor. The woman then explains that anyone who passes through this region never returns. When Hiro asks for directions, the woman acknowledges his genuine intentions and tells him that he can save everyone if he helps the girl. She believes he came to save Bernice and that he has the power to free them all. When Hiro regains consciousness, he realizes the connection between the mutants and the Ghostland. They are the prisoners who collided with the nuclear waste transport, causing the disaster. The clock tower and ruins he saw when first entering the Ghostland are remnants of the destroyed nuclear plant, and the inhabitants of the area are the restless spirits of those who died in the catastrophic event. The Ghostland is a realm for the dead, as suggested by the white streamers, costumes with angel wing-like shoulder pads, and numerous mannequins kept at the area. Hiro and Bernice can enter this place because they are metaphorically half-dead. Bernice from emotional trauma from the governor's exploitation, and Hiro from losing half of his nutsack. It is further revealed that the Ghostland is not a spiritual realm, but a limbo, trapping the souls of the restless spirits. Upon learning of all this, Hiro becomes adamant on saving them. Just then, his suit's device starts beeping as it nears the final countdown. Bernice, realizing the gravity of the situation, starts to believe in him. She then crawls near the device and says, "I am Bernice," causing the explosives in the suit to be deactivated for now. "Thank you for whispering to my balls," says Nick. The scene then shifts to the governor's men returning with Stella, who had also attempted to escape with Bernice. As a punishment, Samurai Yasujiro swiftly unleashes his katana and kills her. At Ghostland, Hiro gathers all the inhabitants and tells them what he saw in his dream. He then rallies the Ghostlanders to revolt against the governor's tyranny. In Samurai Town, a woman in a cell talks to Yasujiro, reminding him that the governor promised to free him if he followed orders. She questions whether they should remain loyal to him or revolt. It is then revealed that Yasujiro's sister is also one of the governor's granddaughters. Back in the Ghostland, Hiro announces to everyone that they will leave the next day. His statement is met with laughter, but Enoch supports him, saying they must fight together. Hiro then asks the Ratsmen for some supplies, including a helmet and a weapon. Suddenly, they are confronted by the mutants and their leader. The burnt man Hiro immediately recognizes the leader as his old friend Psycho, who was one of the prisoners in the bus that collided with the nuclear waste transport. During the disaster, a fire broke out, causing the in flames. Some mutated into zombie-like creatures due to the nuclear reaction. Others died instantly due to their injuries, while Psycho endured severe burns on his face. He asks Hiro why he betrayed him by leaving him behind with the police. Hiro responds that Psycho was starting to lose control and become aggressive around everyone. He lost hope in him when he took innocent lives during the bank robbery. With this, the two companions sort out their misunderstanding and apologize to each other. Psycho then claims that the governor is a predator and he must be killed to ensure their freedom. In the next scene, we see the governor spreading his usual blasphemy to the people. He confidently asserts that he's the reason behind the town's peaceful environment. Just then, Hiro and Bernice arrive at the scene, shocking everyone. Hiro then asks for his suit to be removed, but the evil governor refuses. He instead orders his men to finish off both enemies. At this tense moment, Hiro pretends to take Bernice hostage. This prompts Susie, who is traumatized by the governor's abuse, to sneak past the guards. She gets a hold of a nearby machine gun and kills most of the corrupted men who helped the governor exert power on innocent people, but she is also shot and injured in the process. Meanwhile, Hiro battles with goons with all his might, using the weapons given by the Ratsmen. He also appears to be an athletic karate fighter. Is there anything Nick Cage can't do? Rhetorical. Bernice, on the other hand, carries the injured Susie and attempts to take her to a safer place. They are chased by the guards, but thankfully, a samurai saves them. After all the armed guards are killed, a final showdown ensues between Hiro and Yasujiro. The samurai initially overpowers Hiro, who has several injuries on his body. After a relentless duel, the two momentarily pause and put down their weapons, but this turns out to be a trick by Yasujiro. He quickly retrieves his weapon and tries to attack Hiro. However, the latter has already anticipated the move, so he picks up a katana from the ground and slays Yasujiro. In the meantime, the governor approaches Susie to apologize, but she cleverly takes the key to Hiro's bodysuit from him. When he retaliates, Bernice exacts her revenge by shooting him several times, bringing an end to his tyrannical rule. Hiro then takes the key from Susie and finally unlocks the device on his suit. With the governor finally killed, a kid dressed as a crow returns to the Ghostland to inform the inhabitants. They become overjoyed by the news and claim that they are finally free from time. The clock tower collapses and the scene suddenly fades to black. The movie then cuts to Hiro, Bernice, and Susie seated at a bus stop in Samurai Town, while the rest of the townspeople go on about their daily routines. Hiro excitedly says, "Samurai Town is gonna be a beautiful place one day." I hope you enjoyed this recap as much as I loved making it. If you want to see more, please subscribe and share your thoughts below. Every like and subscribe truly motivates me. Thanks for being here.